It is a March comic book canon on comic book canon. Guys, I apologize. I usually have something for that cold open prepared. It was a mad rush for us to get this show up. Chris was just very nervous. He was really upset. He didn't think his hair was looking good enough. He didn't like what he was wearing. He didn't read up on the news. He's just not ready for the show, and I had to convince him, you are ready, Chris. You are ready. You've done this hundreds of times before. Let's just bring him in. Everybody just please give him a warm welcome. He's having a rough one today. Just doesn't think he's going to get through the show at all. Chris.
I had to make sure my curly curls were,
they look good, man. Everybody,
yeah.
Please tell them they look good, because I've been trying. No, actually, this is all on me, guys. It was a mad rush to get this show up, but I'm happy we're here on Sunday night with all you fine people. Chris, let's give shout-outs right now to these fine people. C to the G, Dan De La Torre, Serge Henderson. Toy Story is not in the background. You'll get another guest, I'm sure. Neil Floyd, Lowbrow Ephemera, Mojo Quid, Dale McNown, Tony Trombetta. Tony Trombetta. That is a hot-looking slab. You got that right, Tony. That's what people are going to be able to win tonight from Kamikaze, who will be here live. Miguel.g.comics, Shadow Rat, Raw Dog Comics, Saw Marshall, Marvel Goddess. Who else? Caleb Leland, a.k.a. Cable Leland. Viper Guts, a.k.a. Viper GTS. Who else? Jordan Nori, Nakira Gare. My gosh. Jacob Murch. He came from Journos. That's awesome. All right. We are here on a Sunday night. We got a great show for you. It's been kind of dry with the news the past few weeks. This week, completely different. We got a lot of fun stuff. We have an amazing guest tonight, too. Ryan from Automatic Comics, one of the most knowledgeable dudes on in the community, has a great channel, always willing to share his info. He's going to be on tonight, but again, he may be a guest co-host, because Chris, what does he have to do first?
Yep, got to pass the interview test.
Oh, every guest co-host does, and very few that have barely, actually all of them have barely made it, let's be honest. So it's a great show. I'm super psyched, especially about this first story, Chris. I mean, you're pretty psyched about this first story. Am I right?
Pretty. Oh, my goodness.
Chris was crying when he called me about that first teaser for Obi-Wan. That is right. We got our first looks finally for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series that will be premiering in May. It was, oh, my gosh. To say that it was nothing short of amazing is an understatement, Chris. Look at this image here. If we thought March was the month of giving with Batman and Moon Knight, well, we have another month full of content as well. May will not only be giving us the Multiverse of Madness, but also the new Obi-Wan series coming to Disney+. We have finally been getting some first looks here from Entertainment Weekly. By the way, this is the last physical copy they will be selling. They're going all digital. As well as an amazing trailer we're going to roll at the end of the show. Chris, just real quick, what are your thoughts on this image right here? Just the image.
It's super clean. It's almost as clean as a nice, 9.8 comic. I might want to send this. I might want to go pick up one of these from the grocery store and go send it to CGC.
It'll have historic value not only for Obi-Wan, but also
right.
the last EW physical copy. We got to introduce some new characters. This is Reva right here, based on the EW's description. She's a Force-sensitive Inquisitor. Who will prove formidable new foe as she seeks out Jedi in hiding for the Empire. Deborah Chow, the director and writer Joe B. Harrell, described the character as ruthlessly ambitious. We saw a lot of her in the trailer, Chris. I'm also liking this backdrop. That does not look like Tatooine, does it?
Nah, man.
Nor does this. Obi-Wan, based off of both of those pictures, it looks like Obi-Wan will be traveling off-world, off of Tatooine.
Yeah.
But, Chris, we also got our first look of Darth Vader. And normally I'd be psyched, but I feel like we've seen this type of an image before. But either way, Darth Vader's in the series. We're going to see them renew their rivalry, I would say. That's probably an understatement. So I'm super psyched. And again, we're going to show the trailer at the end of the show. We don't want to get bumped off and have to come back online. So stick around for that, because we will talk through everything. We'll pick it apart. Chris, real quick though, what are your thoughts of the images and the trailer?
Well, Images are great. Trailer, like I said to you, as soon as I watched it, no, you sent me the link.
Yeah.
You're like, it took me a minute to watch it. I was so busy. But when I finally sat down and watched it, man, I just
oops.
I mean, Moon Knight's great too, but
The
the statement that I made was this can arguably be the best live action Star Wars since the original trilogy. Now I know we've loved The Mandalorian. Some people really love Rogue One as Star Wars Disney is a feature film. A lot of people have issues with the prequels. I really enjoyed Revenge of the Sith out of those three, but I really do believe out of all the Disney stuff, out of the prequels, the sequel trilogy, all of it, this can be the best thing that we see right next to the originals. And that's I know I'm setting the bar high, but that's what I'm shooting for.
Yeah, I can't wait. That trailer set the bar high, man. It really did. I don't want to go back in retrospect on Boba Fett. There were some cheesy elements to the trailer of Boba Fett. Everything was just flat out amazing. So again, we're going to show the trailer at the end of the show. Stick around for that. Also stick around because you can win a 9.6 EGS Slab Carnage Red, White, and Blood signed by Patrick Gleason. This one right here, God, I can't believe we didn't at the top.
Yeah, there it is.
You're terrible promoters. Look at that. 9.6 signed by Gleason himself. Gorgeous, gorgeous looking slab. You got to be in the live chat to win it though. All right, moving on, Chris. You got the next story. What do we got?
Man, okay, so really interesting shifts around for DC's slate of live action films coming up. So I'm kind of taken back by this because I don't understand their philosophy, but it has been announced that these films are being pushed back. Let's just run them off. So we got DC Super Pets that was originally scheduled to release May 20th this year, is now releasing July 29th of this year. Black Adam, which we have been waiting so patiently for this.
Patiently. Yeah. So is The Rock. It's been over 10 years since he was announced in this role.
I know, right? It seems that way.
Literally 10 years.
July 29th, now pushed back to October 21st. So, oh, man. Now, this is really interesting. Shazam 2 is moving up 6 months. This was supposed to be a 2023 summer release. Now it's going to be released December 16th of this year. So, hey, look on the bright side. We get one of these films earlier. Aquaman is set to release March of 2023, and they're pushing the Flash to June 23rd, 2023. Now, the interesting thing about all these shifts is that now the Flash is being released on the same release date as the original 1989 Batman movie. So I know that's kind of a cool spec, but I don't understand the the decisions here. I know they're not shifting all these movies just to make the Flashpoint film come out on Batman's release date just because Michael Keaton's in it as Batman. But look, DC has a plan, even though we don't know as the public. It is what it is. Marvel pushed things back for valid reasons. It just seems that I just don't know. We're just kind of in the dark about it. So that's why it's just this big question mark. I'm not mad. We're all disappointed because we want these things sooner. We want them now. But I just wish that they would have given a little context to say, like, this is kind of where our heads are at and why we're doing this. But we have nothing. So it's really interesting.
It is frustrating, but we're still getting 3 productions this year. I'm excited for Super Pets because my daughter's excited for Super Pets. Yeah. That was fun. Absolutely. I did read online I didn't share this with you, Chris, before the show, but I did read online the Black Adam move and the Shazam move could be related because there could be some end credit scenes that are related to each other.
Yes.
That would be fun, and that would be absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
And then next year, come on, guys. We got, Aquaman 2 and then The Flash. Aquaman basically comes out a year from now. And then The Flash a year and 3 months. So we're still getting some great DC content. We just had Batman. We're spoiled, people. We are absolutely spoiled, but it is kind of frustrating when you set your sights on these things coming out soon. So anyways, it's not terrible news, not great news, but it's happening. It's still happening. And Chris, I got to say, I really think DCU is DCEU is starting to get their shit together, which is something we've been harping on.
Something's going on. Something's going on. Yeah.
Get rid of those execs, and make sure AT&T is not handling any of the creative decisions. I think we'll be all right. All right, moving on. Speaking of getting excited, we had a Moon Knight BTS video, which we will show at the end of the show. Again, we don't want to get kicked off, and if we do at the end of the show, it's not a big deal. But we also got some amazing posters, Chris, and oh my God, they are absolutely amazing. 3 phases of the Moon Knight is what it's called. That's right. Disney Plus and Marvel tweeted out the many phases of Marvel Studios' Moon Knight, an original series streaming March 30th, only on Disney Plus. I can't wait. Obviously, this is Mark Spector and all of his other aliases. Then you have Moon Knight, and then you have Mr. Knight. I mean, the marketing here, the images, Chris, this is going to be something so unique to the MCU, and I'm here for it. I am so psyched. It's going to bring, I think it's going to bring the horror element in. I think it's going to bring the kind of even more mystical elements in from that Doctor Strange has brought forth. So I'm psyched, Chris. I just want to know what your thoughts are. I mean, look at these. I'm going to just shuffle as you talk.
Yeah, same thing. The great thing about, Marvel Studios has done such great promotional work that I do have. You guys don't see it on screen. You just see my Star Wars wall, actually, with the Star Wars movie posters. But I do have one wall in my room for just movie posters that I love. And, there's classics like Back to the Future, Indiana Jones. I got some, Batman ones, some DC stuff, but I got a lot of the MCU stuff. And this is just another one that I want to put on my list. They're so great at putting the artistic, creative vision together in these images. And it just, everything you just said speaks to how we've been anticipating the show. I agree. It's going to be something that we haven't seen before, but what's really interesting, it's almost like almost everything Marvel Studios does. We're saying it's like something we've never seen before.
Yeah.
You get those people that are like, oh, they follow the same formula, but when WandaVision came out, it's something that we never saw before. What they did with Loki, it's something that we never saw before. It's just they continue to, again, move this forward in amazing ways, and I can't wait.
Yep, absolutely. And speaking of moving things forward, we're having something incorporated into the MCU. It's been confirmed by Feige. It's been confirmed by Ryan Reynolds. That's right, Deadpool 3. It's looking like they have a director, and I'm all about this selection right here. The Hollywood Reporter is reporting that Free Guy and Adam Project director Sean Levy is in negotiations to helm Deadpool 3 with screenwriters Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, who penned the scripts for the first 2 films. They're now going to be working on Deadpool 3 based off of early versions by Wendy Melniux, I cannot pronounce, and Lizzie Melnio-Logolin. God, I'm sorry, Wendy and Lizzie. I apologize for that. Chris, I loved Free Guy. I loved the Adam Project. I saw that Friday.
Yep, I watched it too.
Great movie. That is
fun.
Great
movie. It was fun.
So much fun. And I'm going to say this too. I don't want to get too much into this, but I've never seen the depth of emotion Ryan Reynolds brought to a character on screen.
I was going to say that the deeper message in that film was awesome.
It was incredible. I can't recommend it enough, but that goes to say if Sean Levy is the guy for Deadpool 3, I think we're all going to be in a really happy place as well with that production. And I for one am psyched at that choice. He works really well with Ryan Reynolds, as seen with Free Guy and Adam Project.
Yep.
And we'll see. It's going to be in the MCU, so super excited about that. Chris, we have a few quick hit, what we like to call quick hit news stories. Again, it was a heavy week of news. We just want to get to a few of these. Chris, what do you got?
Yeah. Well, we got Penguin spinoff greenlit for those that haven't seen the Batman. Not really spoilers here, but Penguin is in the forefront here, folks. While the film did break $250,000 at the global box offices last weekend, with its success comes some more good news that the Robert Pattinson verse. You like that? The Robert Pattinson verse? Yeah, get it?
Cute.
It's expanding because HBO Max has announced that Colin Farrell will surprise his role as Oswald Cobblepot in a limited series titled The Penguin, which will explore his story arc from where the Batman film left off. Farrell did comment stating, quote, the world that Matt Reeves created for the Batman is one that warrants a deeper gaze through the eyes of Oswald Cobblepot. Farrell went on to say in a statement, quote, "I couldn't be more excited about continuing this exploration of Oz as he rises through the darkened ranks to become the Penguin." So again, I like that they're really expanding on the Battenverse.
Absolutely. He was incredible in that. He was incredible. But
Yes.
these are quick hits. We're not going to harp too much on it because we got a She-Hulk image to show. What? A She-Hulk image? That's right. Via @OneTakeNews on Twitter. The first look at Tatiana Maslany as She-Hulk has been revealed through a thermos. We're not joking, they say. I think she looks great there, Chris. Your quick thoughts? This is quick hits.
She looks great.
She looks great.
It's She-Hulk.
Go ahead. What's that? Go.
It looks like She-Hulk.
It definitely looks like She-Hulk. Well done. If she looks close to that on screen, we should all be happy. And finally, we have Miss Marvel news. Disney CEO Bob Chapek revealed Miss Marvel would premiere in June at the investors meeting this past week. So that's good news. That's looking like that will be the next Marvel series after Moon Knight. We do have some unfortunate news, sad news to report. Chris actually just recently brought this up, but William Hurt passed away. He was obviously, not only an integral part of the MCU, but my God, this guy has had a storied career in films and a variety of productions, and it's really, really sad. He was 71, so rest in peace, sir. Thoughts and prayers to your family. All right, no easy segue there, but I'm just happy to introduce everybody. Oh no, before we introduce our guest, Chris, let's keep reminding people that we have another guest coming on to give something away. And what is that?
Yeah, buddy, we got this beautiful EGS custom 9.6 white page slab of this Carnage red, white, and blood virgin variant signed, the Gleason variant signed by Gleason himself. Beautiful, beautiful book with the custom label there. Somebody is taking this home. Remember, folks, you got to be here. You got to be tuned in. You got to be subscribed to the channel. So can't wait.
That's right. Kamikaze will be here at the 9 o'clock hour to give that away via a trivia question. So be prepared. But Chris, I'm super excited about this guest. He's definitely somebody who's, there are so many of these people that we talk with, we associate with, so genuine, so sincere, so nice. I feel like this next guest raises that bar even further. Please, everybody, Ryan, aka Automatic Comics. He is one of the most knowledgeable yet most sincere members of the community. Not only is he putting up great content and has amassed quite a following, but he's also giving of his knowledge to others. These are people who want to surround. These are the people you want to surround yourselves with. People, everybody, please welcome Ryan, aka Automatic Comics, to the show. What's up, Ryan? How are you?
Hey, good. I don't know if I can live up to that that introduction, but I'll try.
Well, that's what we like to do here. Listen, we make this part of the show as difficult as possible because it takes a lot to become a guest co-host of Comic Book Canon, and you need to pass your interview. So we raise the bar. So that comment right there is actually that's not doesn't do well for you. Am I right?
I'm struggling right from the get-go here. So
yeah. So let's just quick again. I'm starting to get annoyed. Let's quickly start off and talk about your channel, why you started it, and again, man, you've amassed a nice little following there.
I mean, at first, there was somebody who was selling books on Instagram, and they asked me to film an unboxing and just to kind of like showcase their stuff, and so I ended up doing that, and then I posted a couple videos on Instagram, and then I was like, I watch a lot of the YouTube comic content, and I didn't see a lot that was focusing on kind of like the older books and kind of like some of the bigger key type issues. And that's a lot of what I buy, because I buy and sell books. So I have a lot of books coming in a lot of times. And so I thought that was something maybe that I could put together and maybe start showing people some other books that maybe they haven't seen before, because I started really getting into things like Golden Age. And part of what got me into it was seeing on Instagram some of the stuff people were showing, and it's like you don't even know some of the stuff exists until you see some of these like really cool rare books out there. And so I thought maybe this was another way I could get that out there. So started with a lot of that, and so for the first few months it was mostly unboxings, and then we had that crazy comic market in early 2021, and because I watch so many sales and auctions and everything, I feel like I'm pretty tuned in with what's going on with prices. And so I thought maybe I could add something to that. And so because I keep all my information that I track for this stuff. And so I started talking about market videos and that kind of thing, and then kind of translated into some top 10 type videos where it's like surprising sales each week. And I don't know, it's been fun. It's fun interacting with people, and hopefully a lot of times I see a lot of I've had comments more recently where people are like, I've started getting into Golden Age because of books you've shown. And so I'm happy about that because that's part of it. That it's what, with the, that Gerber scarcity index, those big books, if you've ever seen those, part of the reason he put those together was to try to get people familiarized with Golden Age books again. Cause they're so rare. People weren't seeing them. And so this is just another avenue. Cause I don't think people look at actual books very much anymore. So YouTube is another way to get that information out.
And you do a great job of it. I mean, you're very sincere, and somebody can easily relate to you just the way you're just very inviting and full of information. I just saw, I mean, your most recent video was yesterday, I think, about eBay raising its prices.
Oh, yeah.
Talking any comic knowledge. We're talking about knowledge that relates to a lot of people in our audience and in the comic community in general. So again, a lot of helpful information you put out there, and I'm very appreciative of you. It does not mean it gives you a leg up becoming a guest co-host of the Canon. But, if it doesn't work out, I just want to let you know we appreciate you. Chris, should we just start getting into the interview here? Because by the way, please follow Automatic Comics. The link is below. Chris, should we do another one where we may cancel the Canon if we don't get enough subs? That's all. How many subs do you have right now, Ryan?
Do I have?
Yeah.
Like 2,990 something.
What do you want to get to by the end of the show? Because if it doesn't happen, we can't.
If I got to 3,000, that would be pretty nice.
So you're talking just 3 more subs?
Let me check. I think it's pretty close to that.
Because that's the least we can do for you for spending time with us, even if it doesn't work out as a guest co-host.
I need 4 more. I'm at
all right,
2,996.
Chris, that's too easy. If by the end of the show we don't get to 3,005 subs for Automatic Comics, we're canceling Comic Book Canon. Yep. So everybody, down below, the link is down below. But right now, Chris, let's just get into the interview. Let's go.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. So, Ryan, all right. Again, I apologize because I try to play a good cop. Jeff's always the asshole. So, it won't be my fault. Now, I don't know. I can't guarantee you because we do have a tough one this week for you. So it might switch around here because Jeff is kind of fond of you. So, all right. So I will say, Jeff, you might want to step in here real quick. Now, I know nothing. I have snowboarded before. I went down to Southern California when I was 18 and spent some time with my cousin down there. And we went to Big Bear Mountain. And we rented snowboards, and I snowboarded for the first time, and I ran into a skier coming down the hill.
The first time snowboarding is usually pretty painful.
Yeah.
It doesn't always involve running into a skier, but I mean, it's not uncommon.
But Jeff, what should we I do need your help with this first question. We got to ask him something about snowboarding. What do you think is a fair assessment?
Don't put this on me. I didn't do the research.
Come on, man. Come on. Okay.
I don't know how much I can answer about it. I just kind of go down the hill.
How about this? How about? Okay, go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
I was gonna say because I know Jeff, you're familiar with some big snowboarders.
I mean, okay, yeah. How about this? I got one. I got to look it up. Chris, ask the first question that you're going to get into.
Okay. Who do you think has the most gold medals in the Winter Olympics in snowboarding?
I would assume it's Shaun White. That's who I would. I mean, he's
Is
the
that
biggest
who you're
name
talking
in
about, Jeff?
Yes.
Look at that. See, Jeff already knew. He was like, "We got to talk about Shaun White." I'm like, "Shaun who? What? I don't know these people."
All right.
I just think for the simple fact that he answered Shaun White, we should give it to him because
we definitely have to give it to him because here's the thing. We're coming. This is the first interview we've kind of been off.
Or if I could just say, it's
not-
Sean White, and if you don't have the answer, then just answer the
exactly. Look, now we have to take back what you said about not being able to live up to the bar that we set. Oh, Chris, this is becoming a disaster. I think I should kick you off. But go ahead. Next question.
He answered with the person that you brought up to me.
I know, but I was just okay. Never mind. We're getting into an argument. It's getting awkward.
No,
Brian, but the audience.
I'm telling you, you might be the good cop this week. I mean, you're
good.
already, this symbiotic relationship is already happening here.
Oh, wonderful. All right, let's go right on the spot. Ryan, who do you like better, me or Chris?
Can I like flip a coin then and just blame the coin?
All right, he's taking too long. He's kicked off for the first time here, Chris. It's not fair to him. I know that, but I had to do it. Let's bring him back real quick and continue the interview.
All right.
All right, Ryan.
I got one now. Ryan, you're a tennis fan, right?
Yep.
Okay. I wanted to play tennis at one point when I was a kid, but I think I ended up just drinking too many 40s of OE at one point. And anyways, my priorities got messed up. So, but my parents used to watch a little bit of tennis on TV, and I used to sit there and hang out and watch. So, growing up, there was a couple of dudes that I was like, okay, these guys are dope at what they do. So, who would you pick? Andre Agassi or John McEnroe?
Agassi. McEnroe's a little early for me. Agassi's my he is one of the big ones I used to watch.
Okay.
I have to agree because also he had the flair. I mean, they both had flair in their different ways, but I mean, Agassi was ridiculous. Those commercials and all the other stuff he did is corny as hell right now. But yeah, I think he answered.
And he's one of those guys that had he had a legitimate comeback. After he had been kind of like flat for a while, he came back strong and had a solid later career. So yeah,
everybody's agreeing on Agassi as well. So good job on that, Ryan. But we have another question for you.
All right, here we go. Sticking with some tennis. We got to give the ladies some love. Steffi Graf or Serena Williams?
The fact that he has to pause is just like, holy shit. What the hell is going on? It was nice knowing him. Listen, everybody sub up. I hope he's gotten I really hope for your sakes that he has 3,005 subs or else we're canceling the canon. Fine, Chris, I'll bring him back.
I mean, it's tough for me because I grew up more watching Steffi Graf. And so, but I mean, Serena Williams, obviously, she's the biggest name in tennis.
Yeah, I do believe.
I mean, it's like across men and women. So,
right. Exactly. I do believe that both of them are the most decorated in terms of wins. I think they're top two.
They're very close. I don't know if Serena's I think Serena passed her, but I don't know for sure.
Right. Good stuff. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. So we're gonna move on to some music here. This is where it might get a little intense. All right. It might get a little personal. So you ready for this?
I'm nervous about this because my taste in music is questionable for I think most people. So,
yeah, well, I mean, I like. Oh, do you listen to different genres? I mean,
I listen to basically anything that I like. Basically, if I hear a song and I'm like, oh, that'd be fun to like snowboard to or run to, I add it to my playlist. And so it is a very wide range.
I like that. Me too, man. You'll hear me listening to like some grimy, trap music, and then I'm listening to like Peter Gabriel and Sarah McLachlan. So I'm all over the place.
They're known as grimy as well, though. Let's be honest.
All right, but you share with me that you listen to some hip hop, get you going and whatnot. So we got to go to the question of the century of our lifetime when it comes to hip hop. Tupac or Biggie?
Tupac.
My heart jumped.
Oh, it was. I literally finger was on the trigger, Chris.
I need some water
on the trigger. I was actually hoping you answered it wrong.
All right, we're good. Okay, I thought.
All right. I watched your channel, Chris.
Be a real disaster.
Oh, what he just did there. He's abusing you. He says, "I watch your channel."
Oh,
that's like cheating. Why can't he have his own opinion?
That's cheating.
I'm
That
done
is
with him.
cheating.
We're done. We're done. We're moving on. All right. We'll be giving away a slab at some point. Fine, I'll bring him back on because we have more questions.
I feel like I've been kicked off a lot more than some of the other guests I've seen.
Usually, the nicer you are, the more you get kicked off. I have to say.
Look, we got one more, and I mean it. Like I'm not playing around today. I got to put my feet down, man. I'm about to bring it out of me here because this is the question. I mean, this is an obvious. This is like more obvious than Mr. Obvious here.
I'm nervous
All right,
now.
are we ready? Okay, this is it. This is the last question. Sticking with music. Drake or Oni Ounce?
I mean, I have to go Drake.
Okay. Well, that there ends it. So
Drake over Oni Ounce?
What are we gonna do?
OZ? What? Are you kidding me?
What do you want to do, Chris? I mean, it's just, I can't believe that, especially if he's been trying to appease you the whole time, right?
This is it. It might be done. This might be the first one that.
I mean, we have some context here, everybody. Check it out.
Holy state, ain't nothing changing. That's the open PG. What true game banging is classism and racism, the gimmick, oppression and slavery. They put the strong against the timid. I pay my taxes, but they keep harassing. Modern day overseers with the right to blast us. Next time they pull you over and ask for your ID, say the light from my face and stop lying to me.
I mean, Ryan, what do you want to say to yourself?
I'm seeing mostly Drake in the chat though. So
You know that dude? Do you know that dude? Come on, man. That's Oni OZ. Don't bring out the Oni in me.
All right, for those that don't know, that's Chris, and he just did not like the answer that Ryan gave. But to be fair, Drake is a little bit more known than Chris's stage name. So, but Marvel Goddess got it right.
All right.
I mean, so.
Yeah. That's right.
All right, here's the deal. We've been very unfair to you, Ryan. We've been scattered all over the place. It's been kind of a scattered show. So you have had an unfair advantage. We have not been cordial to you in terms of being proper guests. You're moving on with an asterisk as the guest co-host of Comic Book Canon, okay?
all right.
You accept?
I do accept.
You are still eligible for that varsity jacket, the Comic Book Canon alumni jacket that we will never produce and give to anybody. But if we do, you're eligible for that as well as all the other benefits that come with being a guest co-host of the Canon.
I made my little Canon patch here now. So.
Oh yeah, look at that! Wonderful. Oh, he did! Oh my God! That's amazing! You totally redeemed yourself.
I was hoping I would make the cut.
Holy cow! He really did it, Chris. Oh my, dude, that's Hall of Fame worthy. You went from being steroids Barry Bonds to getting into the Hall of Fame. You and Hip Hop Jimmy and $4 Tony are in the Comic Book Canon Hall of Fame. Congratulations on that. Holy cow! Let's bring it up one more time. Look at that Comic Book Canon patch.
There you go.
God, congratulations, Ryan. That is amazing work. All right. Yeah, this show, you are now a guest co-host of Comic Book Canon. The show is as much yours as it is ours. Make it happen. Before we get into the top 10 look back, we are going to, again, remind you that in about 20 minutes, we're going to be giving away what, Chris?
A brand new car.
You get a car. You get a car. You get a car.
This beautiful EGS 9.6 signature series Carnage Red, White, and Blood #1 signed by Patrick Gleason himself. Look at that beauty.
That's right. Kamikaze will be coming on in a few minutes to be giving that out. You have to be here live to win it. Answer his trivia quiz. All right, moving on, Chris. We do this. It's a new segment. Actually, we have a new approach to it. And did I not bring in the top 10? Did I not, Chris? Oh boy, I may have messed up this whole show.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm gonna check here. We're gonna check where Ryan is at.
All right.
Oh yeah. Let's do that.
We got to 3K at least. I can't.
Let me check.
I can't see the 000.
It says 307.
Oh,
Yeah! You guys saved Comic Book Cannon and gave Ryan and
Thank you,
10
everybody.
subs. Keep subbing them up, though.
3K,
We need to
that's
change our
awesome,
mind.
man.
They want it to be 3,020. Good work on that. All right. Chris, here we go. We have coming up right now, we have the top 10 look back props or slobs. What is this segment all about, Chris?
All right, guys. We are taking last week's top 10 list brought to you by coverprice.com. They base their top 10 list on sales data. They are the hottest selling books in terms of units sold. But we're going to be looking at the numbers of this week for those books. So that's why we call it the look back, because we're going to see how they're doing on the market 1 week later after hitting the top 10.
That is right. But before we do that, let's just get into the list real quick. At number 10, Spider-Man 209, the first appearance of Calypso. At number 9, Batman 2, the first appearance of Talon, first mention of the Court of Owls. This is a great run, guys. I really, really enjoyed this run. At number 8, we have New Avengers number 7. We talked a little bit about that last week. Number 7, we have Moon Knight number 1, the Martin Simmons 1 in 25 variant. At number 6, we have Twig, the Ash Can number 1. At number 5, Daredevil 310, the first appearance of Calypso. At Daredevil, number 4, we have Daredevil Woman Without Fear number 3, the first appearance of the new Punisher logo, and just a badass cover. I love that cover. Number 3, we have Bodies number 1. Number 2, Avengers Forever number 3, the first appearance of Mariama Spectre. And at number 1, Batman, the Long Halloween Special Edition IMAX promo. All right, this is definitely more of a diverse top 10 than we've seen. Marvel usually dominates it. You know, we have
a little more DC than I normally see on that list.
What's that?
It's more DC than I normally see on that list.
So again, it's nice to see that variety. It's getting stale, even though we love our Marvel content. It's getting a little bit stale, and we like to see it shaken up each week. Speaking of which, Chris, you pick your 3 most interesting books off of that list and give them props or flops.
Absolutely. I want to make a statement, though. I just sold a first appearance of Calypso Amazing Spider-Man 209 on my live sale on Friday, and I made sure that I was hoping that I would sell it and it would sell before, because I didn't want to get guilty of selling the comic book after we talk about it on the top 10, because we're targets. But and
I feel the same way. I really try to not talk about things that I have for sale, because I'm like, I don't want it to come across that I'm trying to push books.
Right. They got a good deal on it too. It was for the grade, it was a high grade. For the grade it was in, they got it at 35 under what it's been selling over the last week. So I was
it's totally confirmed she's in? It's
yes.
The
and Cass
Craven.
Yep. Craven.
Okay.
By the way, before we move on, Prince Zodiac, did he say props or slops? Chris or I may have said props or slops, because that's what we used to have a segment called props or slops. We kind of rearranged it and mixed it in with this top 10 look back, props or flops. Chris, your most interesting.
All right.
Time out. I'm gonna do the new intro. I'm messing it up. I'm flubbing it up. Chris, let's get into your first most interesting book, and if it's props or flops off of this list.
All right, guys. My number 3 pick, Jeff. I agreed with what you said about most of this run. Batman New 52, Batman number 2. I really enjoyed this run. It got a little stale there for a minute, but
totally,
but overall, I really like this run. Court of Owls, man, this right here is the first appearance of Talon and the first mention of the Court of Owls. And I again, not to give spoilers, but even if you've seen the movie or not, I think it could be pretty almost obvious that they got to do something with the Court of Owls in this Matt Reeves, Battinson verse, as I'm calling it. But let's look at what these numbers did last week when it hit the top 10 and what it's doing now. A 225% upward trend in sales. So when it hit the top 10 last week's high 9.8 was $250. This week's high 9.8 was a $525. Buy it or best offer accepted on eBay. Now I got that read there. Questionable sale. This is a very questionable sale, because although I'm not able to see what the offer that was accepted is, there are books, 9.8 CGCs of this book right now sitting on eBay for a buy it now of $295, $320, around that range. So it's just, it's a big question mark. I don't know if it's somebody that, bought their own book to try to, push the book up. I don't want to, make any conspiracy theories out of this, but it's just a big question mark. And I wouldn't look at that sale at all to base what you guys are doing if you're in the market to buy this book. Don't just pretend like it didn't exist. Explore the buy it nows, explore the recent souls, and you'll get a better idea. But let's look at the average Raws. Last week, when it hit the top 10, the average Raw was selling for about $17. This week's average Raw was selling for about $20. That's an 18% increase in value. So overall, I mean, it's still moving. It's still moving units, and those Raw books are starting to creep up just a little bit. So we asked the question: props or flops? I have to give this book props. I give this book props because even right now, if you're out buying this book right now and you pay $20 or under for this book in a decent grade, I don't think that's a bad buy at all. Now, there's the big question mark too. What is their true first appearance of the Court of Owls? A lot of people go for 6. Obviously, they are mentioned in this issue right here, and number 6 is a higher market valued book on the market currently. It might always be that way, but I really love the Court of Owls just for what they are in the comic books, and I think if they do get introduced in the Matt Reeves Batman universe, there's going to be a lot more eyes on this. So again, if you're paying $20 or somewhere around there for a raw copy, I don't think that's a bad idea. I do want to talk about buying graded books in a quick moment, but I want to mention, like I always do, I'm not here to tell you to go buy these books. I'm not here to tell you not to buy these books. I'm just telling you guys my personal opinion based on the data. Now, even though I'm giving this book props, and if I didn't own the book, I wouldn't mind paying $20 for it. And you might hear me saying this for 99.9% of the books that we talk about, regardless if I give them props or flops or not. I am always weary of saying this is a good time to buy a 9.8 book, because especially for modern books, because I'm all about, spend $20 3 times. It's $60 if you do the math right. Buy a few high grade books and send them to CGC and get them pressed clean. Maybe you'll look out, and if you get a 9.8, you spend a lot less money. So the 9.8 market is still crazy right now to this day. Be very cautious about going after 9.8s, but overall, I think this is a solid book. Short term, we continue to see it increase because of spec. Long term, it's just a solid story arc.
Well, and especially right around a movie when people are speculating on what's going to happen next. I mean, I would fully expect that you're going to see some drop back down, and you'll be able to likely over the next month, 2 months, even 6 months, get it at a better price than what it's selling for right now.
Yeah, especially in those graded.
Yeah, especially like a 9.8.
Graded.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be dropping $500 on a 9.8.
I want to point out 2 things though. I do believe Court of Owls is confirmed in the new Batman video game, so that's another thing coming. Like, remember what happened with? I'm not kind of comparing it apples for apples here, but remember what happened with Miles Morales when he was announced in the video game. So people are going to get to know Court of Owls a lot better. But on top of that, Chris, and I gave the series props, no pun intended, because I mean, for me to have a writer, Batman's been around for such a long time, and have a writer seamlessly integrate this group that was in the shadows the whole time, but have it make complete sense. That is just amazing. Scott Snyder did such a great job with Court of Owls. I love this run as well. So even if it doesn't make it into other media properties, it's a nice book to have in your collection.
I mean, it's widely considered one of the top, at least in modern stories, for Batman. And so it's never going to be a bad run of books to pick up, especially the key issues.
Exactly. And hopefully we'll see more Court of Owls outside of comic books.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chris, your second most interesting book from this list, and are you going to give it props or slops? What do you got?
Whew. All right, everyone. Number 2, counting down. My second pick is Daredevil, Woman Without Fear. Number 3, really cool cover. I don't even know if I picked this. I picked up the first issue. I haven't read it yet. I really am liking this idea and the concept that they're doing with Elektra. But this book is hot because of a specific reason, and that being that this was or is the first appearance of the new Punisher logo. You know, the hand logo, the hand infused Punisher skull logo. Now, I don't think people were aware of this because they knew that the new logo change was coming. They knew he was going to have this limited series, a limited Punisher series. And I think everyone thought that that's where it was going to show up. And then it showed up in this book, and people were, you know, the gossip train was like, oh, it's in this book. It's in this book. So, of course, people went out, started buying this book. So let's look at the numbers first. 241% upward trend in sales. So last week when it hit the top 10, a high raw was selling for 26. This week's high raw sold for 21. That's a 90% decrease in value. Now, as I always say, don't get just caught up on highs. You know, the high doesn't always prove as a solid indicator of what all the sales, the books that are selling on the market are doing. So let's look at the raws. Last week's average raw, when it hit the top 10, 17. This week's average raw, 11, which is a 35% decrease in value. So ironically enough, even though I did say my spiel about highs, as I always do, there is indicators from both the highs and the averages that point to what this book is already currently doing, and that is not holding its speculative value whatsoever. And I don't want to dive too much into this, but we know that there's, you know, controversy over the logo, and I think, I personally do think the logo change is temporary. I do believe his original logo is going to come back. I mean, he's wearing the original logo right there, boom, on the cover of Punisher #1. Sick cover, by the way. And folks forget that the Punisher logo has been temporarily changed a lot. You know, it was infused with the symbiote logo. There was some too that were just like really wacky and weird. And I forget the proper name, but the fusion is basically, it's like a Asian culture mythos of like a certain demon, and I forget the name of what these are called, but it's infusing that age-old character with the skull, the human skull. And that's, so there's actually, if we wait till the story comes out and we read it, there is a reason behind it because Frank Castle's working with the hand. But putting that aside, let's just ask if this book is props or flops. And I give props to the story arc, but for this book hitting the top 10, I got to get it flops 100%, because as we see already, people got the FOMO over this. And I believe the FOMO, you know, I always say FOMO isn't always a bad thing, but the FOMO over this logo, I don't think is a good thing. It's just because it's controversial, you know, and some people are buying it just because of the controversy, not because they really care about it, you know. And it's not something that's going to last and hold up, in my humble opinion. And I wouldn't be surprised if next week, I don't even think this book is going to make the list next week, but I'm not going to be surprised if we don't go and look at the numbers next week that those averages have not dropped off even more from where they're at right now.
Yeah, I mean, these types of buys, when it's like around some current event or something that's got people all worked up, are never. It was like that first appearance of Corona that just like it spiked and then just
oh my god,
you know, that's what that feels like to me.
You know? I mean, yeah, I don't think it's that same level. Oh, Jesus, man, you're bringing back crazy, man. Oh my god, I agree with you 100%. I think this is kind of it's getting attention for the wrong reasons. I mean, I haven't read the book, but I love that cover. That cover is incredible.
Cover is dope.
And I am interested in the story of the Punisher, though. I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to wait till it comes out on Marvel Unlimited. But Jason Aaron's a great writer. He's written Punisher before, and
Yep.
it's going to be interesting. But Chris, I agree with you. Like, I don't think this logo is sticking around for the long term. So we'll see. It's going to be a new take on the Punisher, though, and that's what we like to see with these characters. I saw somebody, we may have it in our Fresh from the Comic Shop, saying, what happened to the House of Ideas? They don't have any new ideas anymore. This is a new idea, so we'll see.
And costume changes, it's pretty rare that those end up being things that retain value long term. I mean, there's a few, you got like Daredevil 7, that kind of thing, but like for the most part, costume changes are largely relegated to minor keys at best, and usually just not known by most people.
I mean, at best, minor keys, no doubt about that. And this one, I don't even think is going to make it to a minor key.
No.
Let's be honest. All right. By the way, we have a winner of an award that we never don't have anything to, but Dale got it first. Are you watching Guardians? I am. Our thing is, we have our guests decide what movie to put on the screen, and Ryan decided to have Guardians, which I believe is one of your favorite MCU films.
Yeah,
right?
What was my favorite until Ragnarok, and then Ragnarok maybe has kind of inched it out a little bit, but those two.
So Dale, congratulations on being a big winner of no award. Speaking though of big winners, Quentin, aka Kamikaze, is in the, he's backstage right now, getting ready to give away this book. However, we have one more props or flops to go over. Chris, what is the third most interesting book off this list, and do you give it props or flops?
All right, folks. This is a tough one. So many books. I mean, I literally could have talked about all 10 books tonight, guys. But we would have been here a long time. It's a Sunday. I didn't want that to happen, so I stuck to the plan. My number one book is Bodies #1. This is a bit of a different book than we've talked about as of late. Vertigo, Bodies #1. Do we have the graphic, Jeff?
We sure do. Thanks for calling me out. I was not and I apologize to everybody in the audience and our guest Ryan and Quentin.
There we go. All right. So fun cover, by the way. I always like to state my opinion on the cover, but we're not here for the cover. This book was optioned by Netflix. TV show, full length, live action. I don't know. All we know is it has been optioned by Netflix. Okay. So what does that mean? Well, it means we're going to look at these numbers and we're going to have an opinion of props or flops. 457% upward trend in sales. Last week when this book hit the top 10, it had a high raw of $45, folks. This week's high raw, $21. That is a 53% decrease in value. Now, again, I always got to tell you, don't just get focused on the highs. Maybe that 45 was an outlier. Maybe, let's look at the averages. Last week's average raw, $28. This week's average raw, $17. That's a 39% decrease in value. So, man, things aren't looking up for this book already. So we get an announcement, the Bodies option. Run to eBay. $45, $28, $30, $27, somewhere around there, right? Sold a lot of units too. That's why it made the list, folks. Sold a lot of units. Check this out, though. Average raw prior to that announcement, folks. And yeah, I didn't round down or up on the pennies. $2.18. $2.18. Should I do I did this last week too, but do I even need to tell you guys if I'm giving this props or flops? But I have to. It's a big capital F, not just capital F, capital FLOPS.
So you're talking all caps.
All caps. This book, see, here's the thing. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not mad at a book being a certain value and then something happening. And it sparks interest. And that's just what happens on the market. Demand goes up and it can drive the book up.
So I'm not familiar with that book. What's the storyline with that one? Or does anybody know what the storyline is?
Yep, I am not.
Are you talking storyline, or are you talking the story behind it? Because I can tell you it was optioned, but other than that, I don't know anything about the story.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I don't go for like the super moderns all that. So,
right.
So I'm not really familiar with that one.
Being in the DC Vertigo, I am assuming it's a bit of a darker. I don't want to say necessarily horror genre, but a darker, more mature read. So that's all I really have on it myself. But
Netflix optioning it's a risky game to play because for one, you never know if they're actually going to do it, and then two, Netflix doesn't have a real good track record with their properties. Some it's hit and miss. Like you've got some that are awesome, and then you've got others that end up being kind of canceled after one season. And so
that's what I was just going to say. And they even some that are decently good, they'll still cancel them after one season. But yeah, it's
tough to get into those Netflix shows like without knowing they're getting another season, like starting right with it early, because you're just like, am I going to invest all this time? And then they're like, yeah, we're not doing it anymore.
Yeah. I think this definitely what happened with this book over the last couple of weeks is, and this is my opinion, folks, it is a prime example of my concern though with the FOMO and how reactionary we are right now. It really is, because you got to understand, and I say this a lot, supply and demand, supply equates to any amount available on the market. That's why I say, like, don't just get caught up in print run, because if the books aren't available for purchase, then that's scarcity on the market, right? It's just like if you have a natural resource that is, I don't want to say it's infinite, but there's a lot of it out there, but you have like big conglomerates that might be controlling it. It could be scarce in terms of, people being able to have access to those resources. So in this situation, you have a comic book that, nobody cared about it that much. You had sales here and there that were selling for $2, $3. And then this happens, and immediately, the supply doesn't shift, but the demand, because everyone, and again, I'm not blaming any apps, but we have instantaneous information and they're not doing anything wrong. They're just saying, it's just like if you were subscribed to like a Hollywood Reporter or something, like they're probably releasing this information. They're probably saying, this body's option, comic book bodies is optioned by Netflix, and you get this, a notification on your phone, and immediately people are going, and there's only, all it takes is for there to be, say, 3 copies on the market at that time that ping goes out. And all there needs to be is 10 people that get this notification, and now FOMO out over that book. And they're driving those prices. They're bidding those prices up to 20, 30, 40. What was it? 45? What was the high? $45. That's all it takes. So now, as it's dropping, you realize what's happening is now people that sell comics and have these books are like, oh, I got a copy of that, or I got 2 or 3 copies of that. Let me put it up on eBay. And now you guys are realizing that it was just a bottleneck of supply and demand. It wasn't scarce at all, really. It's just that nobody had it up for sale. Now all these books are getting listed, and supply is now once again creeping up past demand. And those people that needed to have it right then are going to look back and say, all I needed to do, if I was really interested in this book, okay, I get my notification. Let me see what's available on eBay. Let me see what it's been selling for. And if the only one available on eBay are already bidding up at $15, $20, $25, $30, I would have said, man, this book was selling for $2 like 5 hours ago. I'm going to chill because I don't need it right now. I'm going to come back next week and maybe buy it for $10.
Well, and assuming your LCS doesn't check eBay prices, you would very likely be able to go find a book like that in a dollar bin or less than a dollar bin.
That's a really good point. Now, guys, I just need to know if you agree with Prince Zodiac's assessment on this. It's a slop of a flop.
Yep. I love it.
Yeah, I don't think we could say it any better, even though I couldn't say it. It's a slop of a flop. I agree with that 100%. And that right there, Chris, Ryan, ends the top 10 look back, props or flops. We'll have a new list next week where Chris goes through his 3 most interesting books and if they're props or flops. This is a fun segment. You know what else is fun? Giving away free shit. Because right now, we have good friend of the show, good friend of the community. You all know him. You all love him. Ryan's new best friend, Quentin, a.k.a. Comic Ozzy. How's it going?
I'm good.
Hey,
I'm
nice
good.
to see you again.
Yeah, long time no see, Ryan.
You guys met like yesterday or something, didn't you?
Yeah, last night at like 1 a.m.
That's awesome.
I was on my Chris from Vancouver sent me a link, and I was on my break. I'm like, I'll just hop on with the guys. It was fun. Yeah.
That's
What's
great.
happening?
It's good to know that you guys are all making connections. It's good to know that you have one of the greatest, not only the greatest Canadian bands of all time, the greatest rock bands of all time with that Rush t-shirt. I saw them live once. It blew me away. Neil Peart, rest in peace. You are
I know.
a legend. Anyways, but we're not here for that. We're not here to talk music. Well, we were a little bit here. We'll mix music in. It's our show, Chris. We do what we want, right? We are here to give away a book for our 1K sub giveaway. Quentin was so nice to donate this book for the cause. The way it's going to work here, Quentin is going to ask a trivia question to the audience. You must be subbed up to all of us. That's Automatic Comics, Comic Ozzy, and Comic Book Cannon to win this beautiful, beautiful book. How it's going to work here is, oh, by the way, Peter Thornton's seen Rush 10 times.
Oh, wow.
Good stuff.
Good for you.
The way it's going to work here, people, is we are going to put a line. Quentin's going to ask a question. The answers have to be below a line that looks something like this, which I just put in the chat. We will see who correctly answers the question first. Quentin will be monitoring the chat as well. And Chris, can we just give that caveat we have to give about the technology?
All right, folks. Disclaimer. No booty hurts tonight. Okay. We love you all. We love you all. You know how the internet works. Internets have delays.
Lots of tubes. Things get mixed up.
You all might see a different name pop up first. So we have to take what we see on our end as the first right answer. All right. So I just want to throw that out there. We're not cheating or picking favorites. We will pick whoever gets the right answer first that shows up first on our end.
All right. With that out of the way, Quentin, are you prepared to ask a question?
I am now.
You could have totally played that off.
I am now. Yes, I am totally prepared. I guess. Yes.
All right. So here we go. I'm going to prepare the line for after you ask that question. Again, nobody can answer the question until you see something that looks like this in the chat. That right there is the test right there. Just to show you an example. Doesn't count. There's going to be another one coming as soon as Quentin asks this question. Everybody in the chat, are you ready? We hope you are, because it takes too long for you to answer. Quentin, please ask away.
All right. It's a multiple, like there's a few different components to it. We're going to keep it sort of Spider-Man Carnage related. All right. So it's a Carnage book. What book did Carnage make his first appearance? And what month and year did it come out?
Let's repeat the question one more time. That's a very good question.
So what issue or what book was Carnage's first appearance, and what month and what year was that book published?
So who's got the fastest Google fingers?
Yeah.
Because everybody knows the first part of the question. Right? That's awesome. That's a great question right there. I don't know. Oh, shit. I see Saul Marshall. Is this correct?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Peter Thornton, is this correct?
You start throwing out months.
Close.
Oh, geez. This is gonna be hard.
I think we have one there.
Who?
It is Jacob.
Jacob
Murch.
Jacob Murch.
Yes.
Boom. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Jacob
Right there.
Merck, congratulations.
April.
Let's just double check nobody else answered it first that we
Yeah,
may have
Yeah,
missed.
make sure. Yeah.
Jacob Merck,
Yeah. Hold on, guys. Give us a minute.
Yeah,
want to
check.
confirm this.
Yep.
I'm pretty
Yep.
sure it was Jacob. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Jacob's got it.
Jacob,
Congrats, Jacob.
congratulations. Hit us up
There you go.
at Comic Book Canon on the Instagram. Give us your details. DM us. Give us your details for your address, and we will ship that book right out to you. Congratulations on that.
Congratulations.
Man, we can't thank you enough again
Oh,
for
of course.
just being part of this community, being part of the show. Also, just contributing to this. I'm terrible with words because it's very humbling.
That's okay.
And-
It's my honor to contribute to you guys. The channel, you're a big part of the comic family, so why not give back when you can? So it's a huge achievement on your part, 1K. So yeah, why not? And I'd like to support, like, it's an EGS slab. I'd like to support Tony as well.
Tony's
so
in the
it's,
chat.
yeah, it's a bit of that. So Tony's a great guy. So
We really, really, truly appreciate that. Your channel is down below. Everybody better sub him up as
Thank you.
well. Kamikaze.
Thank you.
Kamikaze has. You can. I know. Oh, what do you got going on tonight? Please do tell.
Oh, I'm going to be jumping on with Newbie. I guess going over some new comic books. I may be a bit of a regular on the show, so we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to be doing that.
And we don't have a link to the specific show. I think we have a link to Newbie down below. So if you want, please put that link in the chat. The time and all that, you guys should definitely check out that show as well. Sure. Another great member of the community.
Yeah, Newbie's a great channel.
Yeah,
he's fun. He's fun to talk to.
Thank you so much, Quentin, for joining us.
You're welcome. Appreciate it,
have a good rest of your night. Have a good show with Newbie.
Right on. Okay, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
All right. That was awesome, man. That was awesome. Really happy we were able to make somebody's dreams come true, I think. But right now, Chris, we have a segment everybody knows and loves. What's it called?
Fresh from the comic shop.
Fly from the pressing salon. That is right. We ask each one of you each and every week to submit your fresh gets. That's right. Fresh in your collection. That means it could be 2 days old, but it also means it could be 30 years old. As long as it's fresh in your collection, we want to see it. Not only do we want to see it, we want to give you prizes for it. That's right, because this segment is sponsored by EGS. That link is down below. You'll be able to win a 9.8 Batman 93 EGS. And I have to upload that image again because I deleted it by accident. But it is an amazing cover. It's got the Joker on there, customized labels. EGS does a fantastic job of customizing these labels. CBCS and CGS, they're just stuck in their ways. Tony Trombetta with EGS is really kind of branching out, stepping outside the box and doing some cool things to present the comic book that you know and love. So with that being said, Chris, Ryan, we should just get into it because we're going to be giving away a prize for March. And as I said, it's that Batman 93. But there are rules. Ryan, you are going to be picking a semifinalist, okay?
I take that role very seriously.
We know because we have a comic book canon badge.
That's right. I got this thing here.
I am so impressed with that, by the way. I can't stop. So impressed. All right, here's the deal. We have 3 criteria. Ryan, please pay attention because it's very important that you do. Presentation. How well composed is the shot? Get creative, get artistic, have fun with it. That's what we want to see. How unique is the book? Now, it doesn't need to be like a $30,000 book. It doesn't need to be a major key, but it could be something that's unique that we have not seen before that may have cost you $1 to get, but hey, this is pretty cool. And finally, Siri, I wasn't talking to you.
She always interrupts.
Always. She's so rude. Finally, story. Story matters. What does this book mean to you? What does it mean to maybe your family? What does it mean to you and your collection? Give us a good story behind that book. So, as we get started here, I do want to bring up, we had our semifinalist competition last week, and we do have a winner. It was close, guys. I mean, it doesn't get much closer than that. Wow. But we got neighbor to the north. with his win of Coyote 11, moving on to the finals. March this month. You can win that EGS slab, neighbor to the north, just letting you know. Good job all around right there. All right, here we go, guys. We're gonna be moving on. First up, and this is a mistake from last week, guys, and it's my fault. I blame me and me alone. I didn't include Brian P. Meister's collection here. This week, I'm celebrating the reveal of Red X's identity. One on the left, I have 2 copies of Teen Titans Academy 12, showing the reveal of Brick Penderoso as the identity behind Red X. Further, I have secured 3 copies along with a 9.8 slab with Brick's first appearance, Infinite Frontier. There's a lot of hype between Red X's first appearance. I believe it was like last year. It doesn't feel like a year ago, but they just revealed it, who he is, and that's exciting a lot of people, including Brian P. Meister. Now, because that was my fault and I didn't include it as last week's submission, he has another submission this week. I do like that one better, I have to say. Moving on, we got good friend of the show, Marvel Man 616 Comics, Doctor Strange Bloodstone 1 second print design variant featuring first appearance of Lyra Bloodstone, the sister of Elsa Bloodstone. This is another interesting book I would keep an eye on as well. Sicilian Comics. We're going to let you know who has won before, Ryan, because people who have won before are not eligible to win again as of right now. Those are the rules. I was about to say we don't write them, we just enforce them, but we actually do write them and enforce them. Sicilian Comics. What do we got here? Captain America 110, first appearance of Madam Hydra. Is that a Steranko cover, Ryan? You probably know.
That is a Steranko. That is one. I like that cover. That's an awesome cover.
It's awesome, man. It's just an amazing looking cover. Love it, love it, love it. Speaking of covers, he calls himself Cover Junkie Comics, but he is Louis Logics in the chat. That's right. We got fresh from the comic shop 8 copies of Punisher #1. Grabbed a few A covers, grabbed a couple with the new logo, and snagged the 1 in 25. John Romita Jr. for cover price. I've been a Punisher fan since '91 when I saw the Dolph Lundgren movie. However, I just recently got serious about collecting. Needless to say, as a new collector, I wondered if I'd ever see a new Punisher series, and couldn't be more excited that it's here. Again, I think, Chris, I think you're excited too. I'm not sure, Ryan, if this is what part of your reads, but I like Jason Aaron. I want to see what he's doing with this storyline. I'm definitely.
The presentation on that one was impressive. So
there you go. Yeah. Starting to use he's starting to think like a judge, Chris, and that's what we want. I mean, he's already made the Hall of Fame with that damn badge. Right. He's going beyond, exceeding any expectations we had, which we didn't have much. I'm sorry, Ryan.
Appreciate that.
We're honest here, okay? And I'm sorry. Macross Plus Comics. Tosin. With gas prices skyrocketing, I need some extra gas money so I can keep on hunting. Please be a big book. He's begging for this to be a big book. And it may. There are a lot of damages, so hopefully those books are not damaged at all. And hopefully gas prices will not be where they are right now when it does start to boom, this book. All right, this one's a fun one, guys. I'm gonna riddle you this. What has 2 thumbs, 1 sketch variant, no jokes, but half a Joker? This guy! Word Bubble Collect. That's right, showing off his sketch variant. That's what we call creative. It's not like gonna win in some sort of photography award, but it's definitely creative. Here's a better shot of his sketch variant, which is really badass. I don't think he said who did that, but it looks awesome. That looks amazing. So good stuff right there. Word Bubble Collect, very creative. Well done indeed. Next up, we got Comic Demon. Here's my fresh from the comic shop haul. To start it off is Freya posing with her favorite. Out of the Horde is Peach's Black Cat cover. Well done getting your cat in there. Now, Comic Demon had a ton of other submissions as well, but we can only pick one here. All right.
I love it.
You do.
I have a black cat. I have 2 black cats. One name is Buster, and the other's name is T'Challa.
Do you think Buster and T'Challa will be friends with Freya?
Hell yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want it to get awkward here. Speaking of awkward, I'm going to ask Ryan to show off his first fresh get, which I'm sure is going to blow everybody else's out of the water. Let's go. What do you got?
All right. So this one was actually on my IG today. If you can tell from the back wall, I am a big DC fan and a big Batman fan. And I got a recent upgrade to one of my kind of like big Batman keeper books. And so that's this one here.
Oh, come on. I knew it.
Is Batman 42, 50, but in CBCS, especially when you're talking Golden Age books, you never worry about the case or anything that it's in. It's a rare book, and it's just. I had a 1.8, and I was very happy with that one. And then this one came up, and so this is the first cover appearance of Catwoman in the Batman title. Her first cover appearance is in Detective Comics 122, but I don't have a copy of that. But this one, I was really happy to add a nice copy of this, because Golden Age books, it's so hard to get anything that's above, like for me, a lot of my Golden Age books, they're like 1.8s, 2s, 2.5s. It's where they can be somewhat affordable, and so this one, the opportunity came up to get it, and I went for it, because it's such a stunning looking book, and I think it maybe has a chance for a higher grade. So
you're gonna crack it open?
I'm considering it. I'm nervous about it though, because like if it doesn't come back, if it comes back lower, I will be extremely upset. So,
oh my gosh, that's a really tough one right there, especially it's a decent grade for that kind of a book.
Yeah, it's a nice grade, and it's a white pages copy, and that's a risk, like I don't really usually care about page quality, but it's nice to have it there. But then if you send it in, the likelihood you're going to retain that is not very high. So.
No, but my God, man, it is again. All these guests, Chris, they blow us out of the water each and every week. It's just not fair sometimes, but that's the way it works. But no, seriously, that is a great book. And you got to keep us all in the loop what you end up doing with that book, because that is a tough one. It's like,
well, and one of the nice things it has the the standard, more detailed CBCS notes, and it has some things that can be fixed, but it's just the question is it enough that it moves it?
I'm going to leave you with this, and I don't know if this helps in your decision, but right now you can't lose. Where you are right now, you can't lose.
Exactly. I can definitely lose if it drops down to a 4.
I want to leave it right there. And that's moving on. Good friend of the show. He's basically a comic historian by example. And by the way, he has won before. But Mark Lineker, what do Aquaman 56 from 1971 and Submariner 72 from 1974 have in common? Well, aside from being the respective kings of Atlantis, they also had the same writer, Mark Skates, who cleverly orchestrated a secret DC Marvel crossover. The algae creature Aquaman blows up on a satellite at the end of this book is shown blowing up at the beginning of Namor's, complete with the same Aquaman dialogue and panels.
That's
and he
hilarious.
pulled it off without any of the editors realizing something fishy, get it, fishy, was going on. How cool is that, guys? Like, how cool is that?
Like, they're like
those historic nuggets. Cannot get enough. Cannot get enough.
Easter eggs, the Easter eggs that have been around for decades here.
Totally.
It's awesome.
Before they were even called Easter eggs. By the way, we forgot to say how to submit. Y'all need to go to Instagram, tag us, but it's also, and there are a few of you who didn't do this, and we caught you, but we could miss your submissions. You have to hashtag FFTCS. Yeah. You have to.
And remember, you guys cannot win the slab unless you follow EGS on Instagram.
We forgot all these rules.
Subscribe to EGS on YouTube. You have to do those two things. Or
all of the instructions are below.
It's all below. You can still enter your submission, but you cannot win unless you do those two things to support EGS for sponsoring the segment.
100% facts. All right, moving on. We'll keep that hashtag up there. Who do we got? We got Miguel.g.comics. I do believe he lives in Portugal. Still chasing Steranko on Strange Tales from 151 to 168. This is 158 with an amazing cover by Mary Severin and the first full appearance of the Living Tribunal. He shows up in the Multiverse of Madness. ... I mean, we saw hints of him in Loki. Isn't that correct? That was pretty awesome. In what was that world called, Chris? I can't even remember. But that was absolutely amazing.
Living Tribunal?
Yeah,
and I like the red, so that one's got a lot going for it.
Oh, does it? Okay, all right, there you go.
I think that are you thinking of when he walked into the court and people thought that it was the living
I think that's what everybody thought. That group, the ones that ended up being robots or whatever. I think everybody thought that's what that was going to be.
Right.
I think we saw hints of the Living Tribunal in where all the Lokis were banished to, and I cannot remember that. I'm going to look.
I don't know. We do know that the staff of the Living Tribunal was in the first Doctor Strange film, or talked about by Wong.
Let me look this up in a sec when you're showing off your book, Chris. Hold on one sec. So let's get to Raw Dog real quick. The Joker knows how to cause mayhem in Gotham City. Joker 12 and 13, along with Detective Comics 1051, are fresh from the comic shop. The Joker has always been a staple in the collection and a favorite villain of ours. These covers look great under the stoner blacklight. Wow, man, what? After this last few weeks of civil unrest in the world, we feel incredibly blessed and grateful to be a part of this comic community. We are very thankful for the freedom to be able to share this hobby with you. In the comic book universe, there are always heroes and villains. It's the same in real life. Guys, we really haven't leaned too heavy into what's going on in the world. There's obviously some horrible things that are happening right now. I have friends who are from Ukraine. I see what they're going through, and let's just hope this ends soon and they can build back. That's all I'll say about it, but we have not really made mention of it because this is kind of a getaway from all of the horrible things in the world. Don't want to get too heavy right now, but just wanted to state that. Chris, your first fresh get of the week. What do you got?
All right, guys. I got a little bit. And this was a big shout out to Comic Command Center, a local shop here in Sacramento. If you guys are ever in town, check them out because I got this book for $5. And that's a Strange Tales 117. And it's a nice looking copy. There's a little marker right there and some writing right there. But other than that, early Doctor Strange appearance, and I love my Strange Tales. So I had to buy this for $5. I mean, come on, man.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
It's so surprising how affordable those runs are. Like Strange Tales, Tales of Suspense, Tales to Astonish. They're all like crazy affordable for Silver Age books.
That is.
I've been talking about Strange Tales for years now. I think some of it, like some of the keys are. There's so many first appearances and stuff in those runs too. It's crazy.
All right, I found something on the Living Tribunal, but it's going to take me a little bit of work to upload it, so maybe I'll try and get that to happen in.
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't that wasn't talked about as much.
Oop! I did not want to cut him off.
I was, before the pandemic, even before we even knew about the Disney Plus shows, the Living Tribunal was a character that I was talking about. Eternity and Living Tribunal. I was like, and that's what I was saying. Go look at some Strange Tales books because
what's Eternity? Is it 138?
138 Eternity.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. And 157 and 158 for cameo and full Living Tribunal. And man, I'm telling you, with the way they're going, the cosmic realm of things as well. Yeah, buddy.
Hold on, keep talking. Just real quick. Just stretch it a little bit so I can get this uploaded real quick.
Yeah, the question, the thing that's always a little like makes you always wonder is how they're gonna use those characters because they're so massive. You know, like they're hard. They're like a character that if like you actually would try to like if you like a normal person trying to comprehend it, like how do you put that character on screen? And so I think that's going to be a challenge. It's going to take the right writers and directors and things to be able to do it.
Kind of like how Fox was thinking of how they were going to do that with Galactus, and they just made him a cloud.
Yeah, they made him a cloud. So yeah, hopefully they don't take Cloud Eternity or something like that.
If there's any indication here in terms of Loki episode 5, they may do a pretty damn good job here.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is from episode 5. It's the Living Tribunal right there. That's a statue of sorts.
Ooh.
Yeah. So good stuff right there. That's something to look forward to. Definitely something to look forward to. All right, let's get back to it, guys. Enough about us and us just hemming and hawing here. Is that a phrase? I don't even know. Because we got into oblivion right now with where is he? That's right. Into oblivion. Doctor Strange 169, formerly titled Strange Tales. First solo title Doctor Strange issue, Origin of Doctor Strange Retold. first appearance of Charles Benton later becomes Asmodeus. So good stuff. That's a nice Silver Age book right there. I bet you, Ryan, you appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that's really surprising with that book versus the run that preceded it, you know, Strange Tales 168 is, nobody even talks about it. You know, it's like the last book in that run, but then 169 is a huge book. Like, I mean, that book has gotten really, really expensive over the last year or so. I mean, in any grade, it's become a really expensive book, a really in-demand book. And so I always think that's just surprising how you get that, you know, the first book in the run is worth so much more than just one issue earlier, last book in the run. And it's not a lot of like key facts about it other than the name change.
Yeah, definitely. It is, those trends seem to change throughout the decades too at times. Don't you notice that? Like, cover appearance was never a thing.
Yeah.
20 years ago. Now it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, I mean, I think part of it has been that the first appearances have gotten just so expensive for a lot of those early characters that it's expanding out into other things that people can be like, well, at least I can afford, I can get that book, you know, because if you wanted Strange Tales 110, you know, you're spending just absolutely multiple thousands of dollars just in any grade.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, by the way, Terry Dupret wants to know if you have that book.
I do not own a copy of that book at the moment.
Interesting. All right. Well, Chris is going to gift that to you probably in the next few weeks, just for being friends. All right, just put him on the spot. All right, we're just going to go with my first fresh get of the week, guys. My fresh gets are kind of boring because they're all over the place. So I didn't even start reading this, but I have issue 6, Venom number 6. Hooray! So much fun. It totally beats Ryan's fresh get.
Have you read the new?
Not at all.
Not at all. Okay, yeah.
No, I'm still picking it up, but I haven't heard good things about it either.
Yeah, I'm picking it up too, but I haven't. I read 200, and that was the last one I read. So
yeah, 200 was interesting. It was okay. Anyways, enough about that because I don't want to talk about that book because I told you Brian P. Meister would be back, and he is. And this is a good story right here, people. Brian P. Meister. Ever since I saw RoboCop 1 in a theater with my dad, July 1987, I was hooked. I was a RoboCop mega fan. This was the last movie my dad would ever get to take me to. 3 years later, I walked into my local bodega and saw RoboCop 4 on the magazine rack. I bought it. This would be the first comic book I have ever purchased, followed by every issue after that. A year later, our apartment caught on fire. I lost all my comics. The following Christmas, a family friend surprised me with the entire Marvel RoboCop run. 13 years later, when I was in between places to live, I stashed my stuff in a friend's storage locker. Unfortunately, my comics were stolen from the storage locker. Not until 2018 would I start buying comic books again, and one of my paramount goals was to at least rebuild my RoboCop run. This past Saturday at a local con, I finally completed that run with issue 22 and 23. I also procured a CGC 9.8 slab of my very first RoboCop, number 4. Finally, I have appeased my inner child. Now that is a great story, guys. I can't find a better example of a great story than that.
Nice setup. Nice.
Yeah.
I love the RoboCop popping out.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised how often I hear about things like that, where like books are stolen out of storage lockers. It seems like do not store books if you can help it. Like I've heard of that and from a number of people of having that happen to them.
Yeah, but everything Brian P. Meister went through to finally get it back again, I'm sure.
Yeah, no,
it's a great story, and it feels a little full circle. So very happy to hear that. All right, next up we got expensive paper. It was a slow burn on this Dan Hipp Batman cover, but I'm glad I pulled the trigger. This might be the most unique Batman cover out there. Part of a huge box I got from Nowhere Comics. I'll post a few more beauties later. Please do. And that is an interesting cover right there. It looks like, I guess he's got 3D glasses on. He's got a soda and he's going to a movie. I don't know. That's really, really cool. All right. We got E. Marvell. What has he got this week? E. Marvell. Okay. So I've been posting lots of Miles Morales, but bro, Mike Mayhew killed this LL Cool J homage variant for issue 38. I got to agree. Even the Kangol hat. I mean, come on. The boombox. Car rides by with a booming system. Oh my God, he's got so many good tracks. Ryan, what is your second fresh get of the week? It's probably gonna blow my.
All right, this was I bought a lot of stuff this last week.
Good. You deserve it.
I don't know if I deserve it, but I did buy a lot of stuff. This one was. So you may have seen this book before, but maybe not this variant of this book. So this is a little more quote modern for me. It's in 1985. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #3. But what this is this is the variant cover. And so what they had the original, which is like, it's like a little more like green color. And the layered that's up here is like kind of like a greenish blue. And so then there was for New York Comic Con, they had 500 that were printed where they had a problem with the printing. And so you can see it's like there's a lot more white if you compare this to another one. And I have a video I'm going to put out about that. That I have another one that I hold next to it. And so this one, it's a very rare copy. There's like 187 on the census. So I don't know how many total are left. This one is also signed by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. And so it's not a blue label or a yellow label because it was probably signed back at that con. But yeah, so this one, it's kind of like, it's one of those like Grail type Ghost TMNT books. Like you've got the Gobbledygook books, you've got the Turtle Mania yellow book, and then this is another one. And so I was happy to be able to get a chance to pick up that book because it's one that I've been looking for a long time, and they're usually, I mean, they're expensive regardless, but they're usually really, really expensive. And so I was able to pick this one up. And so yeah, that was a big week for me on some books.
I want to point out, Ryan, that is a perfect example of the things that Ryan talks about on his channel. I didn't know anything about that. So again, if you're not subbed up, and if Ryan isn't at 3,020 subs by the end of the show, we are canceling Comic Book Kennan. We may as well check right now. I'm going to move on to the. Right. That's yet another nice nugget of collecting nugget right there that you share with people.
And that's something where it's, I talk about this on occasional videos. Like there are all kinds of little like niches of collectors out there, and so there's things like if you don't know about like things like price variance. I did a video about price variance recently. If you're not aware that like a Iron Fist 14 35-cent price variance sells for 50 times more, or 30 times more than the regular, then you may like see one and think like, oh, I don't want to pick that up, but it's actually one of the most valuable books of the Bronze Age. And so there's little things like that can be really useful pieces of information if you're occasionally might come across something like that.
Yeah, again, that was another video I saw maybe yesterday, actually, your price variant video. Fascinating, especially how I think that Star Wars book is going for $40,000.
Star Wars one. Yeah, that 35-cent Star Wars variant it is the most expensive comic book of the Bronze Age. If there was a 9.8, there are no 9.8s, but if there was one, I think it would honestly sell for like $300,000 to $500,000.
Jesus. All right, that's fast. That's insane. Anyways, moving on though, we have who do we have? We have Son of Comics. Chris, tell what's up with Son of Comics.
All right. Well, you know what? This is a good tribute today.
Yeah, actually,
have some Red Hulk action here.
Yeah. That's a good point. Rest in peace.
William Hurt.
William Hurt, yes. But it's Hulk here too. Actually, this is a really nice cover. We got. Oh gosh, I got lost here now. We got. I'm still lost. So Hulk #3, 1 in 25 Tradmore variant, the one and only Tradmore. I'm happy to add this to the collection. That's a gorgeous looking cover. Again, and a nice tribute to William Hurt. So, all right, moving on. Just want to let you know, Ryan, these two are married that are coming up. The next two submissions individually are married. They're called the Comic Couple. They have each individually won fresh from the comic shop as well on their own merits. And yet they still keep putting these pictures out there. That's right. April X Visions. What do we got? Avengers #58. The Vision officially joins the Avengers and Scarlet Witch makes her second appearance. Tommy Boy Collections, her husband Tommy, picked this up for me at the Canton, Texas, largest and oldest continually operated flea market in the United States. Fun fact, the cover images for Iron Man and Captain America were used for their 1975 Series A Marvel Value stamps. So that's some nice history right there, providing a lot of value. But look at that in front of the fireplace with the witch hat. But she loves her Scarlet Witch and Vision relationship. She loves the dynamics there. All right, moving on to Tommy Boy Collections. The Incredible Hulk and Submariner Tales of Astonish 95. Love the cover. Go, 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 Hulk. Like me getting up and going like a beast in the gym. Yeah, Tommy Boy's he definitely goes to the gym. You can tell. No doubt about that. Christopher, what's your second fresh get of the week? What do you got?
All right. I'm always happy when I can pick up a book that fills a hole in my Grail run, my number one Grail run. This is, let me pull it out of the bag. I just like showing it off in all of its glory here. There we go. We got, I haven't pulled it out of the bag yet myself. Definitely going into the press. Amazing Spider-Man number 74. This is the second appearance of Silvermane, who I do believe, I think the next trilogy in the MCU is going to go a lot of street level baddies. You never know. Silvermane could possibly be involved. But my Amazing Spider-Man run, I have like every issue from 100 until the end. And the only goals I have are Silver Age books. And, obviously those first 15 books are going to be the toughest, but I'm closing in on the other ones.
That's excellent. Another excellent book. Chris, we have to get some sort of air horn siren when you complete that Grail run. We got to have a steady, huge celebration. We got to do that. No doubt
if
about it.
If I ever get a Spider-Man number 1, I don't know, man.
Well,
I might have to sell every other book in my collection.
What I'm saying is maybe we should portion it off then, not before 100s. How about that? All right, moving on. I'll keep my mouth shut. By the way, while we check out this next one, Chris, if you because Ryan has to pay attention because he's our judge. If you could check to see how many Automatic Comics, how many subs they have.
Well, I can't see because as a subscriber, you can't see the.
Oh, all right. It only does multitask. Thank you. Although 360 Comics is a previous winner, so
it's dropped down to 3,000 now. So
whoa!
This is the last episode of Comic Book Canon. We got 360 Comics. This book has been buzzing lately without any actual news beyond wild rumors, but she's coming eventually. I've been trying to pick one up at a good price for a while. But the opportunities either weren't quite good enough or fell through until I found this one. Stoked to add this first appearance of Black Cat to my personal collection. Congratulations there, 360 Comics. He's also an alumnus. He's also a former guest co-host. He'll tell you how well he's treated Ryan after he became a guest co-host. So it's like you're an athlete in a city and you won a championship and you never have to pay a bar tab ever again. Just letting you know that.
I do like that book. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, and so that is an awesome book.
It's such an amazing cover too. I love. Yeah. It's just is it Romita Senior?
I don't know if that's Romita Senior.
Just could be yeah. No, I think it actually it was close around there when John Jr. Took over the insides. But that might be shoot. I want to say Andrew, but I don't know.
Anyone in the chat have the answer for that?
I'm going to have that answer. And by the way, guys, you better get Automatic Comics sub numbers up before the end of the show, or Chris and I are done. We're retiring.
We're still at 3,000 though, so we hit the original threshold. So yeah,
we'll see. All right, moving on. We got Union.
It's a glitch. It's a glitch in the YouTube.
It's gotta be. You were at 3,007. That makes sense that people would unsub you. Union Josh Comics. What has he got? I'm combining two hobbies for Fresh from the Comic Shop this week. Let's start with the book. let's start with the book. Thor 240, first appearance of Mimir, Odin's uncle, and first appearance of Seth, brother to oh my God, I'm having trouble speaking today. Brother to Osiris. Such a clean red cover. Thought it was brand new. Love the appearance of the gods in these books. And with Gore coming, he needs some fodder. Now with the other hobby, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game playmat featuring from right to left Loki, Odin, and Thor. This has been a game I've been invested in for years. For a few years, and thought that this playmat and the book would complement each other very well. The artwork of the game is one of my favorite aspects, as it's similar to comic book covers. Good stuff indeed there. Union Josh Comics, great stuff indeed. All right, moving on. We got Sarma.
Yeah, I like that one was a Pence copy, and so that's why a lot of times those Pence copies look really nice, because they're, at least I've heard, they were often struck like printed first, and so you'll get a lot of times really nice looking colors or bright colors on those. And so that's just something that somebody, because I was talking about Pence copies in a prior video, and somebody had mentioned that. So because that's something I've definitely noticed, that they do tend to look brighter.
Again, man, dropping the knowledge. Y'all better be following him. 2 reasons. He drops the knowledge, and if we don't get enough subs in there, we're canceling Comic Book Canon. All right, next up. This one's pretty good. Saul Marshall 007 does it again. Got my hands on a Star Wars Episode 1, nice. The Phantom Menace, Issue 1, Wizard exclusive with a certificate of authenticity a few days before the Kenobi trailer dropped. I have a new hope, get it, guys? A new hope that this comic will strike back, get it, guys? With a return of a Jedi, Qui-Gon. Another great find to put in my son's Star Wars comic collection. He's a new father, Ryan. But my God, this is a great example of a creative shot, people. Look at the silhouettes of the figures of Obi-Wan and Darth Vader.
No, that's nice. You know, he had to take time to set that up. Probably had to put up have lighting back there too and everything. Like,
that's what we appreciate here. That's a great example of being creative here. So Saul Marshall does it again. He has been a semifinalist, but he has not won yet. Comic Hunter 73. Chris, I'm going to say it. I think Comic Hunter is becoming kind of like he's reviewing comics in Fresh from the Comic Shop, and I'm here for it. Fresh from the Comic Shop for Union Josh Comics. He's buddies with Union Josh, by the way. I have no idea why I ordered Gwenverse, having read the issue #1. I'm even less sure. Is this all the famous House of Ideas has left? Come on, Marvel. You must have one original idea left. Comic Hunter, please continue with your reviews, because I think you did it last week as well. I enjoy them thoroughly, because you're definitely critical. All right, guys. My second fresh get of the week is, you know it, you love it. He's the next Miles Morales. I'm kidding. But it's Black Panther #3, second print. First cover appearance of Tosin.
Nice.
This cover's awesome, guys.
Yep.
This cover's awesome. I did not get away from any defects here. There's some sort of, it's not the one people are complaining about on the side here, but there's a lot of people have this too. You can't really see it, but there's a line down below in the bottom right corner.
Is it like a color breaking line, or is it
no, it's not a color breaking, but it's really you can definitely see it there. It doesn't break the color, doesn't break the paper, but I don't know if a press would take it out. I really don't. A ton of these books have been damaged, so it's good. Anybody who gets this in a 9.8, I have a feeling it's going to be rare. On top of the fact it's a darker cover, black covers really, don't lend to being easily graded well. So, all right. That is my second fresh get of the week. Let's get to more of your fresh gets. Let's get to Goonish Lurker. Got my first slab ever from the monthly auction at Mutiny Information Cafe. Amazing Spider-Man 344, the first appearance of Cardiac, and first appearance of Cletus Cassidy, a.k.a. Carnage. A couple of other highlights are the iconic cover, Wolverine #8, and a king-size Avenger Annual #7. These auctions are a blast, and I love supporting one of my favorite shops. That's great. By the way, the Twins poster kind of homage with the Wolverine #8. That doesn't get old.
I love that Wolverine 8. I like solid back covers. I think that, or the backgrounds when they're like a solid color, I think they always look really sharp. That one always pops. It
pops was the word I was going to use too. So good stuff there, Goonish Lurker. And here he is, guys. He's won before, but my gosh, he never stops sending in quality submissions. Kamikaze. He just gave you guys a book out there in the audience. I love this. I just love it. How about some inspiration for the weekend, he said.
Oh,
As you can see the Captain Carter in the background of that Captain America 109. That I just love how he does that. Look at the depth of field right there, Ryan. That's a well-composed shot. No doubt about that. So great job.
He's not allowed to win though, right?
He is not allowed to win. But you're like, you already want to have him move on. But yes.
Well, I just got to make sure.
Oh, I appreciate you asking. We all do as well. We all appreciate. All right. Ryan, your last fresh get of the week.
All right. So let's jump into Golden Age again with this one.
Of course.
So this is I like these books that are in the World War II era that reference something from the war. And so this one is Walt Disney's Comics and Stories number 20.
Oh yeah.
And so it's got, it's basically like they have a few covers that are about buying war bonds that are, related to that. And it's kind of, I mean, you don't really expect it from something where you've got Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse and that kind of thing, like pushing war bonds. But there are a few covers in this run that do it. And this one also has, like I said, I like those solid backgrounds. And so this is that solid red background, and just this one that, I picked up a few Walt Disney's books recently, and this is definitely my favorite one of them. It's a pretty clean looking copy, because a lot of times, with these, that's the problem with the solid covers, is that if you get creases, like there's one little one down here, but if you get big creases, it really kind of takes away from it. But this one looks pretty nice for the grade. It's like kind of like a lower grade book when you kind of look at the back and the spine and everything, but it presents really well. So yeah, World War II era stuff. I always really like finding those, where they're referencing, war type events.
I love the old Disney stuff.
Absolutely. A piece of history. Mark Lineker probably has some words too about that. I'm sure he's got some juicy nuggets that have something to do with it, but that's another great book. Ryan, you are crushing this fresh from the comic shop. Moving on, we got.
Some would say I buy too many comics. I had somebody that yelled at me in my comments a couple weeks ago. That said exactly that.
I thought it'd be maybe your wife. I don't know.
yeah, that's possible. She took another.
Man, it makes me happy. It makes me happy. You know what? You know who else gets happy buying a whole bunch of comic books? And you can tell by this picture here. That's Nori Jordan right here, guys. Not a crazy week for books, but I was able to grab some fun stuff. The Devil's Reign series continues to be excellent. I was also able to grab a few copies of Avengers Forever #3, which is some spec to it. Hopefully I can flip them for extra Thunderbolt money. By the way, Brian, he's a huge Thunderbolt fan. Hopefully my Fresh from the Comic Shop submission will be more interesting next week. Take care, everyone. You take care as well, Nori Jordan. We greatly appreciate you. I'm excited to read that Devil's Reign, but I'm waiting for it to come out on Marvel Unlimited. Arana Escarlata loves him some Ben Reilly. What do we got, Arana?
And for the question in the chat from T. Shu, that one is not Barks art. Barks art started, it's like issue 31. It's a War Bonds cover where Donald is buying War Bonds from like a counter. But yeah, so this one's 20. So this would be before the Carl Barks covers.
Excellent question and excellent answer. Moving on, we got I'm sorry guys, I'm a little lost right here because I was skipping somebody. Comic Noob. Dollar bin diving, spend the day with my little one and the wife. Feels good to be back to my normal self after 6 months of back pain. Now, Comic Noob, we did not know about the back pain, but we're happy that you are feeling much better. And I'm glad you picked up some nice fresh gets in the dollar bin. Can't hurt. All right. Chris, your last fresh get of the week. What do you got? The suspense. Oh, God. Here we go. Of course.
Yes! 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 And I won't give the details. But
that was my next question.
Now, and this is a near mint copy. And well, there's a little ding right here. I might be able to press that out. But I didn't pay a dime for this.
Did you pay for it though?
No, and I don't know if he's here, but no, this was Saw Marshall. We did a little trade. I had some Star Wars books, some of the original run of the Star Wars, and he had some books for the Doctor Strange Volume 2 run that I'm trying to finish whole. So we did a trade, and he included this bad boy in there. So
sweet.
Saw Marshall, thank you so much, so much. I just, yes, there he is. There he is.
that honestly, that is very sweet. That is very sweet, Saul Marshall. And you know what else?
I didn't pay for it, but he saved me. He saved me from having to go to great extremes.
And you know what's sweet here? The giant size man thing, Fresh with the Comic Shop, has to be the best live segment on any live YouTube. We really appreciate that. Thank you for saying that, because we have so much fun doing it. That definitely means a lot to us. All right, moving on. Saul Marshall is proclaiming he's an angel. Now, when somebody says that about themselves, but that was still very nice what you did there. All right. Oh, by the way, Ryan, just for context, the biggest Warlock fan in this chat, in the show, in the chat, maybe you ever met is Chris. He always picks up. What is it? We're up to like 872 Warlock number ones.
I mean, I know, like, from some of the videos I've watched, I've seen you pick up Warlock number ones before. So I was going to ask how many, like, do you know the number? Like, how many you have?
I'll tell you a quick story. Good friend of the channel, Simon. Simon has been rocking with me before I even took my channel seriously. But Simon forced my hand and took one out of my collection. No, I willingly, it was tough, but I willingly gave one to Simon. And then I actually had a bit of a lower grade one and had a rip in it. So when I did my first Whatnot live sale, I said, you know what? I'm going to show how much I care about everyone by actually giving away my lowest grade copy of that I have. So I have parted with a couple. I did give one to my son a while back when he was younger, and he like really beat it up. So I'm thinking about letting him keep it. It's tough though. Like late at night when they're in bed, I'll go into his comic box and I'll like, my precious, it's tough. But no, I think I'm close to right now. I'm close to 30 copies, but I know it's
you got to aim for that like short box.
Yeah, that would be great. Now I'm mad at Drew, Como Comics. He was trying to show me up because he bought a collection and came up with a few. I might have to drive all the way to the Midwest and cause some drama there.
He's in Ohio, right? I think that might
Missouri.
Oh, Missouri. Okay.
We have some
somewhere.
Chris, you've created a monster here, and actually, you may be hurting yourself because Brian P. Meister, I always grab these because of Chris. He got me hooked. So he's taking away your stash.
I'm holding it in.
All right.
One left.
All right. Fair enough. All right, moving on, guys. Who do we have? We did a Ron Escarlata, didn't we?
Yep.
We got. Are you sure?
Yep.
No, we did not. Spider-Man 51 clone.
Not that one.
Right. Ben Reilly. The backup story by DeMatteis ties into his Lost Years miniseries months later. Good stuff right there. Arana Escarlata.
So, Jeff, did you start to say it, but then we got...
Yes, that's correct. Yep.
Gotcha.
Or we were bringing up another point or something. I'm not sure. Did somebody say isn't Ohio in Missouri? What is this all about? Who said that? And yes, Matt.
May need to go back to geography.
I don't know who said that. But Matt Stadge, by the way, we call it Watlock here, Ryan. We didn't want to confuse you, but it is Watlock because Matt Stadge made up Watlock. All right. And then we got two more left here, guys. Dan De La Torre.
I love that cover.
Who doesn't? I mean, I wouldn't trust anybody that says this cover is terrible. I'm still on a budget, but I did snag this nice Iron Man 150 Shellhead versus Dr. Doom. Great story. And I love the Bob Layton art. Bob Layton is he's incredible. He's absolutely incredible. how old is this book, Ryan? I mean, like, Bob Layton's work, it just stands the test of time. By that, I mean, and this is a compliment. It may not sound like a compliment, but his style doesn't change. You know what I mean? Some artists, you see their styles change. Bob Layton is consistent throughout his career, and that's a compliment in a way. I do like seeing artists evolve. Like, perfect example, Chris, you'll agree, John Romita Jr., but like Bob Layton, man, I just love his artwork. So good stuff right there, Dan De La Torre. And rounding it out, guys, we have 080879 Lions with Spider-Woman #1. He's enjoying this read quite a bit. There's some amazing covers. This is I believe this is a variant. It looks like a McGinnis variant, but there are some amazing covers in this run. So good stuff right there. All right, here's the deal. Ryan, we told you have responsibilities, okay?
All right. Yep.
And you know what that is. So I want to tell you that I'm going to show my last fresh get of the week. And while I'm doing that, you need to get to work. And by the time I'm done presenting, you need to have at least you have to have 3 options, share them with us, and then you're going to pick the semifinalists that's going to move on to the next round.
All right.
All right, here we go, guys. My third fresh get of the week. This one, I was actually pleasantly surprised that my local comic shop pulled this for me. It's the Moon Knight Moon Knight #9 Simmons variant. I was like, yeah, I'll take it. Why not? It's a gorgeous cover. Mr. Knight on there. Just a gorgeous cover. I have no idea, Chris, why or how it made the top 10. But I was like, yeah, sure, I'll take it. No big deal. So they pulled that one for me. I do believe it is the 1 in 20. It's the 1 in 25. So, yeah, that's my third fresh get of the week. Chris.
It was on this week's list?
Yeah. Yeah, let's pull it up real quick. It gives Ryan a little bit more time.
Oh, it's the first appearance of Mariama the Spectre.
Are you sure?
No.
Rutherford. Rutherford, but what? Like, it just seems strange that this book would make it to the top 10.
Hold on. I'll tell you right now.
It was number 7.
Yep. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second.
All right, while you're doing that, Ryan, let's talk, man. Let's talk. I got
it. I got it right now. Hold on. Yeah, it's okay. Let's see. It was features the first appearance of Rutherford Winter, former Hydra agent. So nothing that I care about.
I don't know why it made that. Anyway,
it might just because of the cover. I mean, it's a cool cover. I mean, sometimes that's the reason they end up on there.
Yep.
It's definitely cool, and it's a 1 in 25. I don't know, but anyways. Happy to get it. All right. Ryan, man. So, fresh from the comic shop. What do you got for us? Talk to us.
All right. So I took notes, while these were going on, so make sure I had the names.
So after your disastrous interview, you have been you've been just amazing. And you have made the Hall of Fame, the Comic Book Canon Hall of Fame. Only two other people have. 3 in total.
So first one that's under consideration was Saw Marshall 007. It was that incredible Star Wars Episode 1 with the backlight. Yep.
I mean, come on, Jesus.
Yeah. So the setup on that one is great, and I'm a big Star Wars fan, so I like seeing that. Then the next one was Brian P. Meister, the second entry, not the first entry. So the RoboCop entry, because one, I liked how that was all set up. It was great hearing the background for his story. Not great hearing about apartment fire and stolen comics, but coming back to it. And then the third one was because I wanted to have something DC in there, and so this was Word Bubble Collect, and it was the Joker cover, and it also had the little little kind of like joke at the beginning. Yep, that one. So I thought that was funny. So I'm a big Joker fan, and I thought that was funny. So those are the top 3 that are in contention. Now, no, it's not an easy choice. But I think I'm one of the earlier movies I ever remember watching was RoboCop, and so I think that's gonna sway me on this one. I'm gonna go with Brian P. Meister with the RoboCop for the it's just awesome background, great great, story written out for it. And so that's the semifinalist for this one.
Congratulations, Brian P. Meister. An excellent submission. Everybody take notes because it is a well composed shot. It was well presented, and it was an amazing story. Brian P. Meister, you are moving on to the semifinals. You will go against next week's semifinalist for a chance to go against who made it to the finals. Jesus. Oh, it was a Neighbor to the North.
Neighbor to the North.
So, yeah, congratulations, Brian P. Meister. And that there ends Fresh from the Comic Shop. Before we go, though, you have your chance to win the EGS 9.8 Batman 93, but you have to submit to Instagram, tag FFTCS. You have to follow EGS on Instagram and on YouTube. All of those links are down below to win Fresh from the Comic Shop. Thank you all for participating. That was amazing. Ryan, you were a fantastic judge. Absolutely fantastic. I don't like giving you compliments, but I have to. All right.
I like those. Those were like my top 3 picks as well.
I mean, Saul Marshall's was up there.
I really liked that setup. I mean, it was a tough call on that one.
Yeah.
And again, Word Bubble collects. His jokes were pretty funny. All right, guys, here we are at the end of the show, and we promised you a little something that we're going to share the Obi-Wan trailer. We're going to talk about it quickly, and then we'll get in a little Moon Knight. How's that sound, Ryan? You still good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Let's do it, guys. All right. Talk on the other side.
The fight is done. We lost. Stay hidden. The key to hunting Jedi is patience. Jedi cannot help what they are. Their compassion leaves a trail. The Jedi Code is like an itch. He cannot help it. Where is he?
So good.
Oh God!
Like I get like chills, when it's going. It like this. The music is so good with it. It's just everything.
That's the thing with the music. They timed the original trilogy with the prequels, and just oh my God, it's so well done. And I know we can't judge a series by the trailer, but I'll be honest, I don't remember any previous Star Wars Disney Plus series where the trailers hit me personally that hard.
Let me tell you something though, and I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on this film, but I remember when the Last Jedi trailer dropped. I was freaking, I was like, this is freaking amazing. And that movie has still broke my heart. I left the movie theater wondering what the hell I just watched. I've yet gone back and am able to pick it apart. So that's just for me a situation where the trailer did not equate to the movie, but I don't think that's going to be the case with this.
No, it looks like it's going to be. I mean, it's always the tough thing. Like you try to go into this stuff with lower expectations, because when you go in with these these preconceived notions of what it's going to be, you're often let down. But still, it looks like it looks like they also put a lot of money behind this one. I mean, those special effects they look on point. Like
That's
really
just
good.
a trailer too. Like
Yeah, and that's just a
you
trailer.
got to, with a legacy character, Obi-Wan, you have to go all in on that. And I guess you could say that about Boba Fett to an extent, but Obi-Wan, Boba Fett was on screen for 2.5 minutes, in the original trilogy. Obi-Wan was in everywhere. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And plus, the Grand Inquisitor, I know Prince Zodiac, he looks like Megamind. There's a lot of people complaining about his look. It doesn't look like the Clone Wars. I'm just happy he's there. I think he's going to be diabolical, like he was in the Clone. I'm just so psyched for all of this. It's my God. Here we are, Chris. We were talking about this. Remember the lull during the pandemic? We didn't have anything. It's one thing after another. I do have ADD. I've been diagnosed with ADD, and I'm all over the place as it is. And just having all this stuff coming at me all at once, I can't keep up. But I'm super excited.
It's crazy how much Marvel alone, in Marvel/Disney is putting out. I mean, because that's not even counting for all the stuff you mentioned earlier about DC putting out multiple things over the next year. It's like every month is new stuff.
But I mean, we grew up in the 80s. If you were to go back and tell your 7-year-old self, hey, this is what's going to happen, you'd be like, get the fuck out of my face. Granted, I didn't talk like that when I was 7, but I'd be like, that makes no sense. I mean, I remember being a teenager, being on the edge of my seat for any sort of casting announcement, for anything that comic book related. Star Wars was like, no, they're done with Star Wars. They're never do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it was like you had nothing since the 80s. It was like over a decade.
Here we are, guys. Just appreciate the moment. My God, it's just it's a great time to be a fan. And yeah, as you were saying, Ryan, it's nonstop because we're going to show this Moon Knight BTS trailer, which shows more footage and more just insight in terms of the people that creating the show. I love it. Check it out.
There's chaos in you. The fun of Moon Knight is getting introduced to a new superhero in a new world.
It's a real, legitimate character study.
I can't tell the difference between my waking life and dreams.
Moon Knight is a spectacular character. He's got an incredibly unique visual look.
Our job was to kind of put a lens on the things that had the most dramatic juice and ultimately take the mental health aspect incredibly seriously.
I am Stephen.
The way we're tackling the story, we learn about Stephen and then learn about Mark.
What's wrong with you, Mark?
Why did you call me Mark?
And they're the same person.
The tone is like Fight Club meets Indiana Jones. It's a bit dark at times. To tie it into something so vast and supernatural, it's amazing. Thank you.
Every aspect of this show has a duality, and we've shifted the paradigm.
For me, what's really exciting is that it's totally unpredictable.
I mean, yeah. I like how Oscar Isaac said it's unpredictable. I think it's going to be an unpredictable show, but it's also going to be one of the weirdest shows or weirdest Marvel MCU entries.
That's why I'm looking forward to it, because for me, that's what WandaVision was. That's why I really liked WandaVision, because it was totally different from anything we had really had before. And I feel like this looks like it's in the same vein.
Yeah, 100%. It's so, Chris, I have so much to say, but Chris, your thoughts.
Same thing that my initial thoughts when I knew this was happening with Oscar Isaac and what they were doing with it before we even got a trailer. I had a feeling everything that I've seen up to this point has, continued to allow that feeling to, stay in place. And again, every time, I think I said the same thing with all the Disney Plus MCU shows. It's like they're all so different, and it's not like the next one comes out and it's better than the last one, but it blows your mind in such a different way because it's something new, something fresh, and you keep doing. And I just think it's going to take it to that other level of whatever this is. But I'm going to be the thing that really is exciting right now, I think, for the MCU with the Multiverse of Madness and this film. and Deadpool coming to Disney Plus, and Spider-Man going in a new darker direction, in mature direction. I think Marvel Studios under the Disney umbrella is going to really shock people over the next like 5 years in terms of how they're going to really start painting pictures and deepen the storytelling, and I think this, so-called, formula, this PG-13, formula, the heavy slapstick comedy that's always inserted in there, all that. I think we're going to see a lot more mix and match and so much goodness. It's just, let's see what happens.
Yeah. Again. All right. I'm not going to get into anymore. Here we are, though. Chris and I were talking like was it 2021 or 2020, how the floodgates are going to open. They're open, man. And we're just drowning in this stuff. And it's just, I can't wait. I really can't wait. And I agree with you that they're going to get darker in tone. I think they're going to start exploring that. I know parental groups have a problem with it. And I loved Ryan Reynolds' reply to that, be like, we have to make remote controls more complicated for people. But it's like, honestly, yeah, exactly. It's just like, how do you kind of regulate your TV in your house with your kids there? It's going to be simple to do. Okay. Just let everybody enjoy what they love. All right. With that being said, Ryan, it was an absolute pleasure to have you on this show. You were an amazing guest co-host. I can't believe you're a Hall of Famer now. How does it feel?
Yeah, I appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. This was great. And the chat's awesome. Everything was great about this.
Really appreciate that. Chris, I mean, I didn't think I would speak so highly of Ryan by the end of the show. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I knew there was something budding there between you two, because I was borderline gonna be the bad guy today, and that never happens. But I mean, I'm still really hurt that he decided to pick Drake over the one and only Oni. But it's all good. I'm gonna give him a pass. He was such a good guest on my channel, a few weeks back with Swaggle Rock. And yeah, man, Ryan, just always appreciate your insight and what you bring to the table. And let's keep doing what you're doing, man. And again, folks, sub up Ryan with Automatic Comics, and
down below.
Follow him on Instagram. And are you on? Have you dove into? I know you've been selling on your IG. Are you selling on Whatnot at all? Or
no, I haven't gone. I sell mostly on eBay, but okay. I haven't ever really gotten into the live type sales. It's something I've considered, but it's another thing that takes more time. So
right, yeah,
it's
absolutely.
like,
yep.
All right. Well, again, y'all should be following Ryan on @automatic_comics. Y'all should be following or subbing up to his YouTube channel. Again, Ryan, we can't thank you enough. You are amazing, and the content you bring to this community is very valuable and very much appreciated. As for you, the audience, we love you so much, and we really appreciate you each and every week. As we say, time is the most valuable commodity, and you spending your time with us means something to us. It means a lot to us. So we will see you next week, next Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. Until then, be good to yourself and be good to others. See you then.